Hello and welcome to Redacted. Today is Wednesday, October 14th. Hope everybody is doing well. Twerk17, Board Gamer, how are you guys?
Hello.
Not bad.
Hello.
How's it going?
I am most excellent, thank you. All aboard the hype train.
Choo choo, mother trucker.
Choo 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 choo.
Just 2 hours of that, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll just keep doing that. We're not going to do anything else. Sorry.
What do you mean 2 hours? I thought we were doing a 4-hour podcast this week.
I will cut you.
Anyways, obviously we just got news that 1.3 is going to be coming to the PTU. But before we jump into that, Twerk, what have you been up to this week?
Well, obviously, just drooling over CitizenCon stuff, right? But played a lot of the Star Wars Battlefront beta, failed miserably. I think every time I had a free second, I would just message like Proxys or NK Sharp or somebody and just like BF, like want to play. And
Yep.
I was terrible, but it was a really good time. A little bit of H1Z1 and a lot of bit of Star Citizen. So Battlefront was interesting.
It looks really
It looks
cool.
beautiful.
That photogrammetry, man. We're just watching it right now, and
Nice.
it's like
It's reskinned.
for some reason you're at
1942.
the
It's
bottom
really good.
of the leaderboards. What's going on with that? Do you want to?
I was at the
give me
bottom
a
of the
little-
leader. Did you pick that part of the clip specifically?
I did. No,
Perfect.
I was just at the beginning. Look
Um,
at your
yeah.
face. You're so disappointed in life.
I'm just
It's
like,
amazing.
look at me.
He's
Great
like,
time.
That
"Oh,
was,
this
I
is-"
mean, that was my experience with Battlefield. But then also, Proxys and I played a game where I went like 31 and 6,
Yeah, I did
and I
see
made
that.
sure he screenshotted it, so I would
Yeah.
remember that for the rest of my life, because it will be the only time.
It will be
Right?
the only time. And
Yeah.
you said you were playing some H1Z1
Some
as well. is that
H1Z1,
correct?
and the clip that we actually have is pretty funny. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a little clue as to what was going on. I decided that I wanted to hide behind this like fallen down oven. Right, we were
Right.
kind of like hiding in this house.
That was the game I was in.
Yeah, Board Gamer was in the game as well, and I got stuck back there. I couldn't get out. So, like, basically, these guys see us in the house and they start coming in, but they have no idea that I'm behind this oven and I'm stuck back there, and they don't see me, but I had no ammo. And they just stand there, and
They're
I'm
just
just standing
standing
there
there, yeah.
the whole time. It's so ridiculous. So wait, like, I'm
the guy in
seeing
his
it now.
underwear. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy in the underwear, I actually kill him, but then in killing him, I ran completely out of ammo, and I just sat there.
Look at you, you're like amazed. You're like,
I
how
can't
do they
do
not
anything.
see me? Yeah, no, that's
How did they
awesome.
not see me? It was so funny. So that happened, and then eventually, I think you're probably seeing it now, a guy just comes up and just shoots me right in the
Yeah,
face, and that's
yeah.
it.
Um,
It's really, it was just a hilarious game. I couldn't believe what was going on.
and then Star Citizen, just been doing a lot of combat and
Yeah, mostly combat. I try and mix, like, I just do like a little rotation of battle royale, squad battle, race, battle royale, squad battle, race, and then I'll hop into like free flight, try and shoot some people on the platform as much as I can.
Right.
And then go back into the rotation and then finish up in the social module for a little twerk talk. So
right on.
that's the usual rotation, but obviously just, I know you're experiencing it too, just streaming Star Citizen, it's getting busier. The hype is
Yeah, it's
they're getting
so
excited
noticeable.
again. It's good to see. It's very noticeable, right?
It's very noticeable, and the choo-choo train today is gonna
Continue.
use it again, and then whenever Arena Commander 2.0 comes out, let's hope
Forget about it.
before, yeah, then we're gonna be golden. So that's
Yep.
pretty sweet. Board Gamer, you, my friend, just came back
Yeah.
from CitizenCon.
We'll get to that in a minute because it was all right. I mean, what was this CitizenCon about, this random game that I've never seen before? What was
Yeah.
that? But I just like to say that Twerk was teaching me how to play H1Z1 earlier in the week. And so Twerk tips of how you play H1Z1. You pretend you're a pregnant woman.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And scream for help. That's yeah. That's
I
how
had
and
three
hope I'm
sets
produced.
of twins inside of me. That's what I kept telling everybody.
Was-
Three sets of twins.
It was pretty bad. But yeah, I was at this thing called the CitizenCon for the Star Citizen. It looks pretty good. I don't think it would come out though. Anyway, no, it was absolutely amazing.
Actually, I have a video somewhere or a picture of you somewhere. I'm gonna go search for it.
It was
because you had a cosplay going on. Am I correct?
I like to think that I make an effort wherever I go, and so when you're in Star Citizen and it takes a couple of seconds to load in the textures. Yeah. So you just go and just open the lift, and for a couple of seconds, there's like very few textures and just colors. I went for the Light Outlaw in that 2-second load time, and it was really good. The actual event, the meeting of people throughout CitizenCon was absolutely amazing. The atmosphere around Manchester, it was really friendly and awesome. It wasn't like I was going to be stabbed at all. Apparently, it's like the gun or knife capital of the world or something random.
Harbour Walters,
really
set up in his stuntman getup.
Oh man!
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see? Oh wow!
So good.
And then I see Bod and Rocket LR and Cage Geek, and there's Harbour Walters again. And his beautiful hair.
But it was just meeting all these people was amazing. People were for like almost an hour solidly. At one point, I was just shaking people's hands, and they were getting their photo taken with me. That's like cool. I'm just an idiot.
There's one picture.
There was a picture with me.
That I have. There's Chris Roberts. There's this. There's some close-ups, but there's a picture in particular I'm looking for. There it is. There's one of them, anyways. I think there's another one. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for. How drunk, on a scale of 0 to 10, are you right now?
Are we
have to wait for it
comparing?
to come up.
Are we comparing it with when you phoned me later in the day?
No, but I'll touch on that after this.
I'm pretty drunk. I'm probably about a 6 there. I'm getting there.
Okay. So for those of you
pretty manic anyway
who didn't make it here for CitizenCon stream, I think most of you did. We were trying to get a hold of everybody that was there through Periscope or whatever other means we could. Unfortunately, Skype on mobile doesn't allow video calls, which is with multiple people, which is ridiculous. So we were trying to get him on, and we couldn't. So after the stream, I decided, hey, you know what? I'll try and give him a call and say, hey, what's up? And say hello to him in the group, because I know they wanted to say hello and whatever. Answers the phone. Hello, just go to the washroom. I'm like, what? So he's walking into the washroom. And he's like, yeah, just go to the washroom. I'm like, yeah, I'll call you back. He's like, no, don't worry about it. Whatever. And he just wasted. Amazing. I'm like, now I can see people behind him. And it's just like sort of in the lobby. I can see people behind him. And I'm like, is that Aaron Roberts behind you? And he's like, yeah, I think it was. I think it is. Or he's like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's Aaron Roberts. He like gives a little wave. He's like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then, yeah, it was just ridiculous. And then he's just running around like showing the camera at everybody. Wave to Saurus. But yeah, he was.
It was great. It was great.
It was definitely something.
But we'll be getting videos of that, like as a documentary and all of the other stuff for CitizenCon up soon. Nice. There's so much footage to go through, but tomorrow I'm taking off as a day. I'll look through all the footage then. It should be pretty cool, though. I am going to try and do it as a documentary as much as possible. There is an issue that I've had with CitizenCon, though, and that's the referral codes. Okay? Look, let's get lots of Star Citizens involved. Let's get loads of people involved by referring them. All of my videos, all of the time, are just covered in people's referral codes.
Mm-hmm.
I just
in my chat.
delete. They're just absolutely everywhere. There was a guy that's I was chatting to on Reddit. He's put a Google Ads campaign.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing is I know it's gotten pretty ridiculous.
Like,
although that's exactly what CIG wants.
Yeah, I mean
it's free advertising for them. If you look, like people are paying for advertising on Google for CIG, right?
Yes,
but this is the thing. This is something you're going to experience more of, but I think you also have the benefit when it comes to the referral codes. Obviously, myself and Twerk, we can purge those instantly, right?
It's much easier for us. Yeah.
For us to purge them, but you get more of the newer viewers looking it up, checking it out on YouTube. That being said, you have more referrals than the both of us combined right? And you're on YouTube, and yeah, like,
And you're getting spammed.
and
Where
you're getting
people can mix
spammed on
it.
top of it. So
much
I think
spam.
it sort of balances itself out, but it's definitely a thing. And myself, I've been playing mostly just some Star Citizen, doing a lot of racing, informing. There's been a lot of people lately coming in and just asking about the game and just checking it out. And like you said earlier, Twerk, like people are just really excited about it.
Yeah, it's like you know how it is when new patches come out, when things get exciting, you start to see those old faces, those old regulars from when you first started streaming or from a few months back, and I'm starting to see those faces again. Plus some people that are like, "How do I play this game? How do I get this game?" and stuff like that. So I had a few of those today, and that was I always like those guys. Those are my favorite.
I don't know about you, but I have been showing that Arena Commander 2.0 demo, and we'll be showing that later on. Yeah, and people, like, everybody loves it.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty awesome. But that's really all I've been up to. I haven't really been doing the horror thing. I kind of beat all the horror games that I wanted to play. There were a couple that I got frustrated with and said, "Fuck this! I'm never going to play them again." But
yeah, I mean, that's to be expected.
Just dumb little mechanics. But for the most part, I beat all the horror games way faster than I expected to, right? Like, I beat them in a stream or 2 streams, and it's like, okay, well, this game is done. I don't know what that is. Oh, your little...
It's some of the swag.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that
what kind
a
of
hornet
swag
pin?
did you guys get?
I need a hornet pin.
You don't even have a hornet.
I've got you swag, Saurus. I've got the limited edition swag.
I have the constellation pin. I need the hornet pin.
Yeah, Saurus gave his ticket to my mate, so the payment was that he brings the swag
You
back.
get swag. Nice.
There was unfortunately a casualty of war at CitizenCon.
Right.
This is my 3D printed crab. Which,
I know it died.
It
You
really
can glue
is.
it back together, though, right?
No, it's immune to super glue. Yes, I can glue it back together. That's correct.
But you know crabs grow back their extremities, right?
Only some of them. Not 3D
Not
printed.
space crabs?
Not 3D printed space crabs. Yeah. This is... I'm going to sort of cut you guys both off here and say, hey, let's do a ship giveaway. Or at least let's start one. We're going to be starting with a Merlin giveaway right now.
What rogue maverick that's handsome and yet quite good at YouTube videos donated that?
Board Gamer?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was me. It was
Oh my god. Here, let me even give you your kudos here.
But there's
Okay,
more.
so-
There's more than just a Merlin. Shh.
Is there?
Yeah. It's from you. Come on, Taurus.
Oh,
Come on.
I'm not doing mine at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah. So after the Merlin, we're gonna do the Merlin for the podcast, and then right after that, I have a subscriber giveaway that we're gonna be giving away a Sabre. Pew 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 pew. Stealth fighter ninja. Ninja stealth fighter through space.
They should use your
So
voice
good.
for an advert.
They should.
Ninja Starfighter.
Yeah, exactly right. So, guys, do me a favor! ! Merlin in chat. Please be following both myself and Twerk, and be subscribed to the Board Gamer on the YouTubes. And guys, if you could do me a favor and just link your things in chat. Let's talk about first about 1.3, because this is something that literally I woke up to. I woke up at maybe 10 o'clock this morning, 9:30. Looked over to my Skype. Nobody's really saying anything. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So I know what I need to do this morning. Roll over again. Wake up like an hour later. Roll over again. 1.3 PTU. I was like, shit, I gotta wake up now.
Yeah.
Start looking at everything.
I might have
like,
to download
oh,
this
super
thing before the
excited.
podcast.
So let's take a look here at basically the patch notes that we have so far. This was posted by Will Leverett, CIG. Twerk, if you want to do me a favor and post that link in chat, and you'll be able to find this link in the description below on YouTube.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Why not? You know, I like creating
Have a look.
extra work for Board Gamer. Just go under. You know, you guys know what to do.
Yeah, you'll find it.
The mods beat me.
They're actually going to modify the build right now, as the current one is missing a critical new file called system CFG. You know, that system configure file might be important. Without the new file, textures are all over the place, so this is essentially the update. It'll take a couple of additional hours, so hopefully, by the time that this podcast is done being live, we're going to be able to download it and jump on. We're hesitant to provide an ETA, but we'll provide information as soon as it comes along. It will definitely be live today, though, the 14th of October. So let's go really quick.
Yes.
Yeah. This is only a small partial list of the patch notes, and they're going to update this with the complete patch notes as soon as they're ready. Twerk, why don't you do me a favor and run through the hanger?
All right. So additions, balances, tweaks, and fixes. This is the thing that I am like, yes, and have been talking about for what, like a week and a half. The Grey Cat buggy has received an appearance, animation, and handling overhaul, so maybe we won't be driving like this anymore.
Yes.
And right, so that's really awesome. The elevator to Area 18 will show all available instances of ARCorp, how many people are present in each one, and how many people from your contact list are present. That's pretty cool. There's a new, yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah.
There's a new loadout selector located in all players' hangars that will allow players to select what loadout they will move around the hangar and ARCorp with. So
no more insert F6.
Yeah, no more F6. So we're gonna. I'm assuming loadout might even mean weapons at some point in the future. Maybe not.
It might even mean weapons now.
It might mean weapons now. That's the one thing is, again, they said that there's a lot of content here, and they didn't share the whole patch notes. But reading through, I didn't see anything about pew-pews on ARCorp just yet.
Last I remember, they said that you were going to be able to shoot people in this patch when they were talking about it previously.
Who gives a damn about shooting people in ARCorp? I've got a bloody buggy.
What if you can shoot somebody else's buggy and blow up their buggy? That
doesn't matter, because you're going to be run over, mate. You're going to be trying to shoot me with your pew-pew pistol. You're going to have a fucking buggy rammed up your ass.
Oh,
Bring
shots
it.
fired.
Well, not so much when buggy's rammed.
Yeah, no shots, just buggies.
No shots fired.
One of the things, like, I've always used the Self-Land hangar as my hangar until pretty recently. So the Self-Land hangar is in the process of receiving a full relighting pass to improve the overall look and atmosphere, which we saw some things of that on ATV, which looked really great. It's not 100% implemented yet, but I'm sure it looks really good. The camera-free look can now be activated by Shift plus G instead of Left Alt plus G.
Yeah.
So that's a new one. I know people are going to be asking about that, so pay attention. Shift G to move your camera around so you can see your guy doing the emotes and all that stuff, because that's coming
definitely
in too.
rebinding that.
Yeah. Control F is now the hotkey to disembark your ship. So F when in the ship and flying around, no. But so that kind of tells me that
that's EVA.
We're going to be EVAing in free flight, maybe in Arena Commander, whenever we want.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to do that immediately.
In this patch.
In this patch, yes.
And then fixed seating in the Retaliator and Gladiator, and visual shaking inside the Vandal Scythe. I haven't flown the Scythe very much, so I didn't see that, but awesome.
The glaive had it as well, and I imagine they fixed the glaive as well. But you can see it shakes a little bit.
Yeah. So super excited about that.
Yeah, with the Arena Commander patches, do you want to go over that for us, Board Gamer?
We got guns. We got big guns. Pew pew pew.
Big guns.
Size 4 ballistic cannons are coming along, and you can mount them with size 4 mounts on the Super Hornets ball turret and on the Cutlass's turret as well. So you can replace those mounts that are there currently with a fixed size 4 mount and mount that big ass ballistic cannon. So
does that mean one size 4 gun on the Hornet?
I believe
so.
Okay.
And one size 4 on the Cutlass.
Cool.
That obviously be balanced and changed and messed around with, but at the moment that's all we're getting for the size 4s. But we're also going to be getting a size 2, quite slow firing mass driver, so like a railgun. Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be competing with the Sledge 2, so we'll have to see about that.
Something interesting about that, before you jump too far ahead, is it's saying it's a size 4 mass driver has been added to the game, but it uses a size 2 mount.
No, The Arms
No,
War
that-
Series SZ4. It's the name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
That is a
Okay.
little.
It
It uses a size 2 mount.
Very, very
It gets
tricky.
it gets
It
a lot
messes
more
with you.
sales. It gets a lot more sales because people think it's a size 4 gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
It's like, why is the size 4
Advertising.
so cheap?
So another quite big change. Again, all the ships have got extra health across the board. All the ships are going to have extra shield as well. So shield strength is going to be up. This is going to help reduce alpha strike damage. So
Yes.
you know when you pass by someone that's got a Super Hornet with a ballistic loadout and they take out all your thrusters or snipe you out, that should be reduced heavily. That's the idea.
Twerkgasm.
Messed around missile lock times. We don't know what that means. It just says adjusted missile lock times.
Okay.
A major thing is that ballistic weapons have got a longer range now, so we're not sure if that means more accurate or just a longer max range. But that will heavily affect the meta, as well as the laser guns being a lot more accurate. So that will affect the meta heavily if you can snipe people out with lasers.
Nice.
But damage of energy weapons or laser weapons has been reduced fractionally. Lots of extra damage on the Vandal stuff. What else is here? Anything good? Lots of updates to shield meshes and stuff. Make stuff not fall out of itself. M50's been a little bit rebalanced with its power plant.
So that with that, it's more of a thing that if you're using the weapons, it's not going to be going as fast, is what I understand from that. Which is kind of neat. Do you think I'm reading that correctly, or am I?
Well,
That's
I
how I
think
read
so.
it too.
No, because you could just chuck ballistic weapons on, couldn't you? I mean, no power
Yeah.
draw anyway. I think it's obviously it will just draw more power. If you're using Omni Skies and your engine, you're going to run out of power in your lasers quicker. Lazarus.
But I don't know if we see if you run out of power in your M50, maybe because the power plant was too strong. Was that in the game where if you were to run out of power because you were using your weapons, would your top speed go down? Would you slow down? I never
I don't
saw
think
it.
so.
But I think that might be what happens. And I think that would
Maybe.
be interesting. You know, if you're laying on lasers and your power plants get, most of the power is being directed to your weapons, then you might
I don't think
slow
you're
down
slow.
a bit.
I don't think you'll slow down, but I think it will affect your agility. So obviously,
That would
any
be good.
thrusters that you try and move when you've got lower power, it will take
You
longer
might just
to thrust
glide or
them.
whatever.
Well, it will take longer for number one, the computer to crunch the numbers, and number two, for the actual thrusters to get power.
Interesting.
So I'm assuming it will just affect agility, because otherwise, if you slow down, that's just odd, because it's physics-based. You shouldn't slow down.
Right.
But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But they fixed lots of problems with Jim, because Jim was being a dick.
Yep.
And lots of other bits and bobs with just fixing issues and there's lots of stuff wrong with the lobbies, lots of little tiny bugs they fixed. You can now go into relative mode, which is gimbal lock mode, with left control and G. So anyone that goes into relative mode, that's really important. And look ahead mode's on by default. Does anyone know what look
Yeah.
ahead mode is?
So look
Yeah,
ahead mode is
go ahead.
sort of where it auto gimbals things a little bit. So it'll track your target.
I thought that was
A little bit, but
target focus.
well, you can, if you use look ahead mode, you can also kind of it's like a cheat to gimbal weapons with the joystick, sort of. But what look ahead mode really is if you go to turn a certain direction, your character's eyes will kind of move in that direction a little bit. So if I'm going to turn right or like pitch right or yaw, my character will turn its head in the direction of where I want to go, and then the ship will go there. So you kind of get to see what you're moving into before you move there, just a little bit.
Sort of like if you were driving, you would look before you start to turn.
Yeah, but it kind of like follows your eyes.
Okay.
It's hard to explain without showing, but
We'll get to see it in a minute.
it's fairly useful.
Yeah.
It's been in game the whole time, but it's a useful little thing sometimes. I like it. I just don't always turn it on, but when I have it, I like it.
Okay. And I think that's pretty much it for that section of the notes.
Yeah.
So they also fixed an issue where players would not be removed from Arena Commander when being idle, unless all the players in the match were idle. So they fixed that. They fixed the tutorial chapter 3 where missiles would sometimes not lock on the target correctly. They fixed an issue where weapons fire could appear offset from the weapons muzzle when the ship was firing while moving. There was another one where the ship's target could be lost when increasing distance from a target. So that, I think that was the random target thing, which is nice.
Yeah, that is a big change, actually.
Yeah.
I can see that one.
They fixed an issue where projectiles fired from ship weapons would sometimes remain protruding out of the weapon they had been shot from. There was a black screen issue that would occur when joining a lobby.
I got that every now and then.
Yeah, so they fixed that. Getting stuck on a loading screen if you're connecting to an instance that no longer exists. And an issue where the player host would see a different match and rules than the rest of the players would. This would happen when a host created a game, left, entered, and created a new lobby. We also have the social module stuff. So ASRock Area 18 is expanding. So the new Galleria area is under construction, so it's not complete, but it is available for exploration without having to glitch through things. Now, I don't know if the Galleria area is the section beyond Dumper's Depot, or if it's a different section. I imagine it's the section beyond Dumper's Depot.
Just because it seemed pretty done, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they just need some final polish, so that could be it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a whole bunch of new emotes that have been added to the game, and I believe, it doesn't say here, but I believe sounds have also been added to emotes.
We heard the sounds during the live stream.
Right. Right.
So,
well, when we have emotes like whistle,
that's for when the girl characters come in.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You just need people know what you're doing.
They know what's going on.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. There's a flirt now. There's a rude. So rude. There's sleep. Yeah, I hope you can like lay down and sleep.
That'd be awesome.
There's a chicken. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a burp. So yeah, maximum character capacity has risen from 25 to 40. That's right, Riven the game. Fully functional Grey Cat buggies have been added around ASRock and include a functional passenger seat. Grey Cat jousting confirmed.
Yes.
The Grey Cat buggies in ASRock can explode and be destroyed when they impact at a high speed. So be careful with your speeds on those things. Players will now be removed Area 18 due to inactivity after 15 minutes, so you can't just like AFK in there forever. The chat UI has received a full graphical overhaul. So there's multiple tabs for conversation management, private conversations, and a contact list, which is really nice to see. And it's nice to see those implementations on there, and we start to see those different tabs and private convos and everything, just like every other MMO. Falling out of the terrain will now kill players, and you will...
That's a fix.
That's a fix. Now, in the last 1.3 PTU, if you guys remember, we had we had a PTU before. When you fall off the train, it would put you back in the elevator. Now it is going to respawn you in the medical unit, which is a nice little change, and that's cool. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, it spawns you in one of those rooms in the emergency thing in the back. And they have that part open now. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
New default hotkey for contact list is now F11. It's not L, it's F11. Augmented reality has been changed from F2 to F10, and they fixed a number of texture conflicts and lighting bugs in the ASRock. And those are all of the patch notes that we have available to us right now.
Why do we think they changed the buttons? Is it just to make sure people are paying attention?
No, it's because they're rebinding for other things.
Yeah.
So like when FPS stuff comes in, they're going to need F1, F2 for other things.
Exactly.
And L was always annoying because when you clicked someone's name with an L, it would close it. Yeah. So they had to move it.
Go ahead.
No, mine is not related to what we were just talking to. So if you have something
related it's just they're putting all the keybinds to what they feel they actually should be on there, and you know, there's a lot of things that you know, with the gimbal lock is now different, or the free look is now different, and things like that, because they're going to use those other keybinds for something else.
Yeah, and
Okay,
when they make them that complicated, they're just assuming you're going to keybind them to your joystick or something like that, if it's important to you also, right? But the one thing that I wanted to mention, and I finally got you, was fixed an issue where players would not be removed from Arena Commander for being idle unless all players in the match were idle. I don't know if any of you guys experienced this, but there was one little fucker that would be in my games every morning, and he would just sit there, and he'd be in a Hornet too, so he's worth a lot of points, and wherever he was, he would just sit there, and he would never play. So he would just earn his 400 or 500 rec every game, but what he would do, it would ruin the game kind of, because whoever was closest to him would get the kill.
Would just farm them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just kind of like ruined the experience of the game. Like, I don't care if you're farming wreck, like whatever, but it ruined the game experience. And I finally got you, you little fucker. So I'm happy about that one.
You
know who you are.
That, apparently.
Yeah, it annoyed me.
So
it was Nighthawk
today.
72 was his name. I called you out
Just
too.
call him out.
Dox him.
Called you out too.
Oh God, don't do that. Don't even joke about that.
Fighting mid at you, bro. Fighting mid. 1v1.
Before we go on any more news, let's jump over to Starship Showcase. And while we're doing that, let me remind you guys that we do have a Merlin giveaway donated by Board Gamer UK, !point Board Gamer, or !point Merlin in chat to enter into that.
!mark Board Gamer. Why not? Just try and type it. See what happens.
See what happens. See if something happens. He's hoping it's going to be his referral code.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. See?
I'll confirm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, so
if you want to show your love for me, just spam your referral codes into the chat now.
Oh,
Screw you.
don't do that. Don't do that. I'm telling you right now,
the whole
don't
channel's
do
gonna
that.
get banned.
Oh yeah. That might be bad.
So Twerk, I'm gonna let you. This is gonna be your baby, the Aegis Dynamics Sabre. Tell us all about it.
So obviously it's from Aegis Dynamics. The big thing is we'll go into next is the price. So 170 USD, that's pre-tax and VAT and all that stuff. It's a concept sale, so it's not a game package, right? But it does have LTI included, unless you decided, since you can CCU to anything, unless you CCU'd from whatever, then if it doesn't have LTI, then you have that game package, and that you CCU'd from, not to, the one that you CCU'd from. So the overview of it is kind of like a stealthier, beefier version of the Gladius. I think Board and I have been kind of calling it the Super Gladius, right?
Yeah,
it's definitely a Super Gladius. It's
Yeah.
definitely a Super Gladius.
I've been calling it the same thing too, or a Gladius on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So its focus is clearly dogfighting with the way we described it. It's 26 meters in length, 18,000 kilograms in mass, and again, the numbers of mass, I heard them mentioning this before, it is a very rough number. If you notice, they're always kind of even now. It's because they're guessing. It's not the actual mass. That we'll know those real numbers at a later time.
It's got foldy wings. It's got foldy wings to work. 24 meters, and then it folds out to 30.
It's pretty awesome.
Well, it means it can fit in cargo base. You can almost get 3 of them in the Endeavour.
That is cool.
Almost.
Yeah. If you
like
almost.
jam them in.
Yeah, you
really
fly in on an angle.
Yep. Primary engine. So what I kind of did with this one was a little different, since they were kind of putting up this ship up against the Hornet when they were selling it, which I thought was pretty interesting. Was it has 2 times TR3 engines, where the Super Hornet has 1 TR4.
Well, these are your main thrusters. These aren't your engines. Okay, yeah, I'm mixing up engines with power plant. Never mind.
Yeah, these are your main engines. I thought this was my baby.
You got it. You got this, baby.
You got this. You got this.
It's my baby.
You're
So,
pregnant with a Sabre.
Yeah, it has 8 times TR2 thrusters. The Super Hornet also has 8 times 2R thrusters, but it's a heavier ship, right?
It's a lot heavier.
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, the guesstimated weights are not that much different. I was kind of like, I expected to see a massive difference, but they weren't. But again, that's where I kind of mentioned these are all just guesses, and I'm assuming that the Super Hornet's going to be much, much heavier, especially considering the components are heavier, right? But this one also has 2 times TR3 retro thrusters. So I had to ask what those were. Those are the ones that push back. So if you're flying forward real fast, you would use your retro thrusters to slow yourself down, right? And the max size maneuvering thrusters are 2. Now this one comes with 3 light power plants, and that's part of this new component system. So this is very to be determined. Not exactly sure what the max size will be. Maybe it'll have 4, maybe it'll have 2, maybe it'll have 1 medium size. It's all kind of up in the air. But for now, 3 light ones. It has 3 size 3 fixed laser repeaters, which look like panthers in the concept art, and the max is size 3. And then it comes with 2 size 2 gimbal lasers, which look like badgers in the concept, not cannons, even though they call them laser cannons in the stats. So you can fit a size 3 fixed gun there on those mounts. And then it comes with 2 size 2 pylon mounts, which are missiles, and it comes with 3 missiles each for a total of 6 missiles there.
Size 2 missiles as well. Size 2 missiles.
Size 2 missiles, yeah, which
brutal.
is...
And the potential for 4 size 3 guns on that ship. And they're all mounted at the front and near the middle. That's going to be snipey as hell.
Yep.
And it sounds like it's going to be fast.
Yeah, which kind of... Yeah. It kind of goes away a little bit, in my opinion, from how they described it. Like, it's the stealthier ninja-y one, but it's a ninja with a goddamn shotgun, basically, right? You know, it's like a ninja, but it fires
through the house.
Traditionally, ninjas have always used shotguns.
Yeah, don't you know anything about Japanese culture?
So this is one thing in the component system that I'm a little interested in learning about. I'm guessing, though, 4 light shields. Now, my guess is that if it comes with 4 light shields, it has a front, a back, a left, and a right. Yes. Right? So, again, new component system. Might be 1 large shield. Might be, you know, who knows. But I'm assuming 4... We have to assume, at the moment, 4 light shields. Again, to be determined. Included hangar is the VFG industrial hangar. It's not in your hangar yet. It's not flyable yet. But also comes with, in the package, comes with a Sabre poster. And where this ship came from, it's kind of got some history. And it has some history with me because, you know, back a couple months ago, I was playing Wing Commander 2. And I was able to fly the Wing Commander 2 version of this ship, and it was pretty damn awesome. And yeah, I'm really excited to fly it in the Star Citizen. I just pulled up the image of the old one versus the new one. Yep, and that's an image that Ben posted on Twitter. And
wow, they're almost identical.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my god.
They're very similar.
Right? They're very similar. So it's there was some... We had mentioned that last week, a little bit about a potential leak of what the name might be and what that was, but that was clearly incorrect because it seems so obvious that this ship was designed off of the Wing Commander 2 one. Not only named the same, but designed very similarly and had a similar kind of gameplay style. So it seems obvious that whoever leaked that information had the wrong information, right? So again, there's some controversy with this. In my opinion, is the Gladius not that good anymore? To this day, maneuverability is still king in Arena Commander. So, is the Super Hornet just done as far as superiority in dogfighting? It's hard to say with the way we haven't flown the ship, but the way they're describing it,
sounds pretty badass.
A wing of Super Hornets is going to be deadly. The thing is one-on-one battles are rarely going to happen in the verse, and battle royale situation is very rare going to happen. Squadron battles, squadron battles are a different dynamic. Yeah. So, but if you have got 3 Hornets working together, they can cover all the avenues. It doesn't matter that they're slower. They're deadly as hell, and they can take the damage.
They have more weapons. Yeah. That's the other thing too, right? Like the Super Hornet does have more weapons overall, and carries a more deadly payload. Not only that, can take a lot. It seems like it's going to be able to take a lot more damage, right? Like it's slower, it's beefier, it's like the Brawler, right? That's how they sort of call it. Whereas the Gladius is, you know, the lighter, nimble.
Yeah.
It sounds sort of like a glass cannon.
Well, and it is a bit now. The Gladius has been a lot easier to kill in this patch than it was in the previous.
Also, let me
still
mention
being effective though.
That is with the stock loadouts that it comes with. We
Yes.
don't know, like, this has, for example, two TR3 thrusters, right? So are we going to be able to take the two TR3 thrusters from the 350R and put them on this?
Potentially.
Right? And is that going to, obviously it'll get rid of maybe some of its stealthy capabilities, but it'll make it a hell of a lot faster.
Well,
So-
will it
no,
work
no,
with
no.
your 3 light power plants? Maybe not.
So it's all to do with pipes and plugs and all the sockets and stuff. Remember? So every engine will have its own pipeline for receiving power from different areas, which will be different for every component, and it will have its own plug. So it's all dependent on that, what we can fit on each individual craft.
Okay.
Right.
And we won't know what it is for each individual thing until it happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Because I would think that you would be able to take some engines from some ships and move them around, because they're not always
definitely will.
specifically designed for specific ships. They shouldn't be, at least, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole modularity and sort of
Yeah.
building your own.
So maybe it's more of a
Frankenstein.
system that they're working on. But
You know what
yeah,
else is really cool about the Sabre?
What's that? What's that, Saurus?
I'm gonna give one away.
Oh my god.
I know,
Nice.
right?
Oh my god. But
yeah, after
but
the
also
podcast.
this ship
Also.
doesn't require any extra mechanics or anything else extra made for it. It's going to be the concept ship that is on the concept for the shortest amount of time before it actually gets made.
yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of wanted you to bring this up because it seems like it's pretty close, right?
Yes, I mean it. Oh, you're trying to mine me for data from CitizenCon. I know your game, you tricksy little boy.
No.
Tricksy little man. So yeah, I believe that the Sabre is going to be ready very soon.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
like, it's definitely going to be the shortest concept sail ship ever before it actually gets produced. So.
Well,
Yeah.
they've been refining the whole pipeline process for ship creation, especially the single-seater ships. Now that they've created so many, that there's no new systems that go in place, right? So we already know that they can do the damage tech. They've shown that on the Merlin and the Gladius. We know that they have the new HUD stuff. They've shown that on the Merlin and the Aurora. And as we can see, they're balancing with the weapons, and they know that all the systems for all the different or the power plants and all of this other stuff, and we're seeing that already. So yeah, I don't imagine it would take very long from concept to this, because the actual modeling, while I'm sure is takes skill and everything, I don't think it takes that long if they know exactly everything that they need to fit and everything from there. So
Anyone can model a potato.
Right?
Google SketchUp, bro. Start modeling them potatoes.
And this ship is on sale until October 19th, so 5 more days to pick this one up. I still have to CCU one of my Mustang Omegas to it. I have yet to do that.
All right, let's go back into the news, and we're going to talk about, first thing here, Squadron 42 trailer was released.
And it was
so who would
pretty awesome.
like to talk about this?
You can go ahead first, Board Gamer. I'll let you take it. I
Yeah,
just did the ship shape.
this is the. I'm assuming you're talking about the speech first rather than the other stuff.
Oh yeah.
So
We have that coming
this is
up right now.
Admiral Bishop's speech. This is Gary Oldman giving a speech to the UEE to rouse them, not arouse them. That's rude. To war. Although I actually had the latter when I was watching it live.
I think we all did.
So yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It's very well animated. It's using the modified CryEngine we know from Star Citizen. It's rendered in engine, and that is going to be Gary Oldman's face in the game. As in, that's not like a super pre-rendered scene. You're going to be able to walk up to him at some point, and you're going to see his face like that. I
Yeah.
think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
And we also got to see some of the well, actually, we'll talk about that in a minute with the actual character face stuff. But that speech was pretty damn cool. The music there was good.
I really like the music.
Yeah, as a trailer,
Yes.
it was amazing and shows I think that the storyline of Squadron 42 is probably pretty cool. You can see very much that it is Wing Commander-esque.
Oh
You
yeah.
can see those.
I
You can
feel
see
it.
those influences. Yeah, you can really feel it.
It made the UEE seem very imperialistic, very Roman. Like you know how they're based off of like the Rome thing. It felt that way. The music did a really good job of that. The speech itself, like if you were listening to the words coming out of his mouth, it had that feel of like, I don't
There's
know.
one thing I will say about it that was the only bad thing is that the Uncanny Valley.
Yes.
So this is when, for anyone that doesn't know, this is when humans will look at something that is very similar to a human expression or very similar to like something, but it isn't quite right, and it slightly repulses you or makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
At certain angles, the faces are so real that your body thinks it's a face, but they're slightly off occasionally, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. Now, this is great and amazing because with most like graphics on games, you don't get Uncanny Valley even if they do something weird because your brain knows it's not real.
Yeah.
Right.
But this,
is the other thing as
It's
well.
like crazy.
Is you also have to remember that these models are not done. If you go and you look at games
dev
like
post.
Rise, there's a dev post about this by Sean Criminal Tracy. If you look at games like Rise and stuff like that, they actually do it so well that it brings you past Uncanny Valley and it doesn't look so weird anymore. And he wanted to say that this is something that was done in weeks, where things like Rise is something that's done in a year. So they have it, and the reason we've only seen Gary Oldman really, and the other characters in the other Squadron 42 little sneak trailer or whatever weren't quite up to the same standard is because they've only been working on this one so far, and it's just gonna get better. There's gonna be more stuff, and we're gonna see that later on when we talk about the facial tech stuff. We're gonna go into that, and you'll see immediately what the differences are. It's night and day. It's pretty awesome. Right now we're looking at this cast list. I don't know if we have that later in the news, but the cast list is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was the next thing that we were going to talk about. I didn't know a lot of these people by name, but when I saw their faces, it was just, holy crap, you and really and Scully.
I
like
mean,
what?
So the three people that people are probably most excited about, that like a lot of people will know: Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, and Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Mark
I think-
Hamill, man.
Like for us, I think, and for most people, I think for whatever reason, Mark Hamill isn't. I don't know if everybody's as excited for him now because he kind of spoiled it for us a while ago, and we were super excited then. But like I am so pumped for this. I can't wait, and I just playing through most of the Wing Commander games. I just like, yes, you know, it's just great.
This was very cool too. I just brought up the website where it shows the cast and everything.
Yeah.
Which you can go to robertspaceindustries.com/squadron42. And it's got all that information. And pre-order now, which is a big deal that it says this now instead of pledge.
Yeah, I kind of what do we think that's going to mean?
Well, that means that they're ready for pre-orders.
Yeah, but any package you've been pre-ordering it, right? So
No, you haven't been pre-ordering. You've been pledging.
No. You've been pledging. That's completely different. That means
explain it to me,
so
because I'm clearly not getting it.
Pre-order means that the game is almost complete.
Yeah,
but
pledging.
also, I think it's.
Go ahead.
I think it's different. I think it's different to that as well. So the pledges, if you're counting how many things you've sold for like a cinema release, where your thing goes gold or whatever, you count actual sales and pre-order sales. I don't think pledges count. So I think they're changing to the pre-order model.
So these pre-orders.
And people are actually going to get these. These are things that are now confirmed for people to get. They're not pledges. It's not a pipe dream anymore. This is pre-order. You are buying a product.
This money may or may not go to directly. This may start to count as profit instead of counting as pledge money. Now, the CIG is most likely going to take a lot of their profit and put that back into the game for obvious reasons. Monkey, quits changing your screen stuff. It's messing your green screen up.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. So
White screens only.
this may count towards their profit margin now instead of going to the pledges, right? But we know that they're like any proper game company is going to take their money and use that to continue the building, more DLC down the road, or keeping their staff on.
They've earned to make some money for their company.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they've earned that right. I'm glad they're doing pre-orders and.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
there's definitely not any money worries now, even if you thought there were.
Yeah. and here I have up the package for the Squadron 42 pre-order, which is the same, or looks very similar
It's exactly the same.
to the Aurora MR package.
It's exactly 100% the same.
That will change in the future, I think, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're gonna start to see them split those two up. Squadron 42 separate from Star Citizen. I'm sure they'll have a package that has both. That's going to become more expensive, and they're going to have a package for just Squadron 42 for those people that are interested in just the single-player campaign experience, and they're going to have just Star Citizen for those people that are just interested in the multiplayer experience as well.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of going with what does the pre-order mean? Does that mean that they're going to split to you guys? Like, I assume the same thing. I thought that we were going to see some split from Squadron 42 coming out of our pledge packages, and you'll actually have to purchase the product.
I don't know. I think, I suppose they could get rid of the ships, because I think when you complete Squadron 42 fully, you'll probably be given a free ship for the MMO.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look.
You earn your citizen card, that's for sure. So
yeah, facial
after
tech.
that, let's do it. I'll do this one. Sean Tracy shares how they made the speech, which is pretty cool, and they built upon what was currently in CryEngine with this company 3 Lateral, which I've heard it mentioned a couple times, and I was just like, whatever. And then we see this video, and I'm just like,
it's 2 companies, right? It's 3 Lateral, and it's
there was somebody else
or
as well.
something. I think
Maybe,
it's
but
called.
they really were all about 3 Lateral in this, in this video. They kept mentioning them, and the guy who was speaking, I guess he's Russian, said he was like the lead at 3 Lateral or whatever, and I don't know. It was just absolutely mind blowing. Some of the things that just got me going were we'll see it on video at some point, but there's a girl who's bald, and she's talking.
Oh, that gets you going, does it work? That's fine.
Well, yeah, I guess
I'm
bald.
noting
I'm
that-
into
I'm
bald
noting
the
girls.
that
G.I.
down.
Janes.
Yeah,
Noting that down now, mate.
but for me, I couldn't tell that wasn't human until she opened her eyes.
It's Uncanny Valley, man. It's getting to
was
the point
insane.
where we're not going to be able to tell.
Yeah, this is
we're not
it
going to be
here.
able to tell soon.
It's up right now.
It was absolutely mind-blowing, this one for me. And I don't know if this is part of Squadron 42. I hope so, because she's real. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, she's not part of Squadron 42. She's part of another project.
Okay, yeah,
It's the same tech, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was just mind-blowing. But until she opened her eyes, I couldn't tell the difference. And, I mean, what was your favorite part of this little tech
My
demo?
favorite, actually, I'll go back to it here. It was actually where he didn't have eyeballs, and they were focused sort of on his forehead. But you could still see like right here where he's showing like the different like the grimacing and the wrinkles and everything right before it showed the girl. That to me was the super realistic. I agree with you. There's something with the eyes, but it doesn't put me in Uncanny Valley. It doesn't make me feel weird. I think it looks.
No.
It's good enough that it's not like, ooh, that's gross. It's not like the old
So-
Final Fantasy movie or something like that.
Total opposite for me, man. It's all about the eyes. The pupil dilation with light was just.
that was cool.
I grabbed Flint next to me and held his hand while gasping. I was like, oh my god, because That's just amazing. They were fully reactive based on the amount of light, and I was just like.
When Gary Oldman swallowed during the speech a couple times, I was like,
yeah.
The attention to this is just ridiculous. The attention to detail is just
they show
stupid.
the little like lower eyelid twitch, and things like that. Like,
and you can even see it at one point. There was like just a Gary Oldman maybe mannerism where he was talking and then he like looked up, and it
Yeah.
just seemed
Oh,
like a
so
mannerism
good.
that was just for him.
Yeah.
And you were just like,
Yeah.
what the
But
like this
it's
is
going to be
stupid. I have to
so
walk away.
weird. So weird if people get in, because we're going to get really invested in the emotional story of this game. Okay.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
it's built to do that. We're really into Star Citizen. When
Mm-hmm.
these characters die, yeah, when the character, because I'm assuming some of them will.
Yep.
Spoilers, probably not Gary Oldman's character, because I remember in the video he said today, I was like, I love to
Yeah.
revisit that character.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't think he's gonna die.
probably alive. But I mean, when these characters die, I'm interested to know: are these kind of games going to have more of an emotional effect on us? Because obviously, that we want them to. We want to be inspired by an interactive story. We want to feel the sad, the happy, the everything. If it's getting so real, where soon we're not going to be able to tell the difference between real and not real, graphically, because it's almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to have much more of an emotional effect on us?
I don't know. I don't think it'll have more of an emotional effect, but I do get very very emotionally involved with characters in games. So
I cried when Eris died. When Eris died in Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
Really?
That was a big deal for me too. Oh yeah.
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 It's
Yeah,
it's
dude.
pretty.
And that wasn't even close. Those characters weren't even close to looking as real and whatever as you're gonna get with this. You're gonna get people that it's gonna look like they're looking you in your eyes and talking to you directly and creating those connections with you. And you're gonna hear a lot of, like, with going back and using Final Fantasy VII, which is a great example. They never had the voice acting for that. That was just text. You're reading just text. You know, they did everything there with their lighting and the storyline and the music.
And the music. The
The
music
music
is so
was
powerful,
really, really
yeah.
powerful. And yeah, it's that. I mean, now if you took all of that and then added realistic looking characters that interact directly with you, that you can hear their voice, you can hear like the trembling in their voice or the excitement or whatever, you're going to become a lot more attached to these characters.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the tech where they know if you're looking at them or not when they're talking to you. Right?
If you're playing it on the Oculus, you're going to get so in depth with that, man. I mean,
you're going to need a
it's so
waterproof
nice.
visor on the inside.
Yeah. You're gonna ruin it.
When your wingman gets shot out of the sky, it's gonna suck, man. It's gonna be like losing Goose.
Yep.
You know, yeah.
Oh man.
So think about that. But yeah, pretty crazy. Baby PU demo.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So it was
So-
all obviously. Go ahead.
Well, people have been really wow about it. Now, I mean, I expected them to have this, so I wasn't too wowed. I mean, they've been
This
talking
in
about
this
it so
scope,
much.
though.
It was only at the very end that I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Because then you realize how big.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely had its flaws with some of the
Absolutely.
things, and they're very minor, but they do stand out. We know that they took out the jukes. We know that, so when they take out the jukes in those other animations that they'd shown previously in this, it made it feel like the characters had weight. It made it feel like they were actually there. And right now with this, when they're not in there, that's why Chris Roberts feels that it's so important. It doesn't feel like they have weight. It's the same thing if you look at Counter-Strike, for example. You see people moving around, but there's no feeling to the character actually being there. When you look at Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, you have that weight when they're like stumbling over things or like running and slowing down and trying to stop and things. That to me is my best example of anything that has really good jukes in a game. But you know, there's the other thing too was the targeting thing. Now the targeting was kind of skipping all over the place.
So annoying.
I think that's because they're running it on a local server that couldn't quite handle it.
So I think what's happening is they haven't quite got the communication between the stations and the ship and the pilot done yet. So the pilot moves the ship, yeah?
Yeah.
And that turret tries to keep up with its targeting system, but the tech
can
is
see
that
it.
they haven't finished the code yet properly for it. So it will judder.
Well, the thing is it doesn't judder in Arena Commander now. And it was juddering
That's not
for,
multi-crew.
but it was juddering for the Hornet as well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I don't
Oh.
think
It was.
I don't think it, and that was the thing that sort of put me to ease because they don't have that in Arena Commander now, but I was doing it in with the Hornet here, and I really think that because they've merged all the tech and it's all on the same server as of this 1.3 thing, that they were probably, I could be completely wrong, but they were probably running it off of a local server there, and the local server there just didn't have the power to sort of do it, so you're getting that lag induced in there.
And then it's not a bug.
And then I'm
hoping
that's what
before
it is. It'll get
Yeah.
well, even if it doesn't get fixed before it goes live, it's something that's not super major. It's not crashing to desktop. You know, it's not something that is a huge blocker.
To go back at that, do you remember when ships were bouncing all over the place and you couldn't hit them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you say that
Yep.
that was super major?
I would.
I would. So I
wouldn't call it a blocker though.
I wouldn't call it a blocker, but it would be one of those situations which Star Citizen has dealt with in their kind of alpha stage where they want us testing things, where the game was so unplayable and unenjoyable because of those things that nobody played it and nobody tested it. So they didn't always get the amount of information that they wanted. So I think they kind of are learning from that and making sure that things like that aren't in. So I would almost call it a blocker, not a blocker, but close enough to being one.
What we
where
think
something
about
like that would need to be fixed before we played the game, I would
So
say.
right now, we're going to that on the video where they're getting into the combat with those Pirate 300 series ships.
Yeah.
We're looking at the constellation, but I'm hoping I can point it out to everybody who's watching this both live and on YouTube. Coming up here, when the Hornet does shoot, it does do the judder thing as well, and obviously we know that that's fixed for the single-seater ships. So, and it's something that's definitely present in the constellation. You can see it in the turret.
It's present in the press demo as well. Someone has just correctly mentioned.
Yeah, that's
well,
what we're watching. We're watching the press demo right now.
Yeah.
And the press demo was likely done previously.
Not on a local.
It was live on YouTube the second it came live.
Yes.
So it was likely done at Foundry 42.
So it's only judders sometimes, doesn't it?
Jitter's pretty bad, the entire thing.
I mean,
but right now we're looking at the constellation. Okay, here's the Hornet. So the Hornet is doing it as well. And so this right here is what sold it to me. It's like, oh, okay, it's being all jittery and weird. And so it's not just the constellation, it's something to do with the netcode or with the large maps, or it's something to do with the server side stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they
server
killed
tech.
every ship with a missile because they were unable to kill with guns. And then if you guys don't notice, for whatever reason, when the ships were killed, they didn't explode.
They just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously this looks great. We're gonna see it soon, but it needs a little bit of polish before we get it. But so less of the things that we don't like, more of the things that we did like. So this morning, I was talking to Brennan, who is one of the leads in QA at CIG, and he was at Port Olisar, which is where we started. And I was kind of asking him, because I was a little confused when Chris said this during the live demo. He said there's going to be 64 places for us to spawn in. And I wasn't sure if they meant all throughout the map, or was there just one starting location. And Port Olisar is our starting location. Okay, so it has 10 landing zones, 10 landing pads where you can call up a ship, and there's 64 little rooms in there that we start in. So that's like cleared up. If that was confusing to anyone else, I know it was to me. But then there's 6 stations around that.
Yeah.
Which are like, so this is the part where like you guys said you weren't surprised, but you had to have been somewhat surprised at the scope of how much work they've done. Really?
So I was surprised at the missions when I realised exactly. Yeah, you say the scope. Yeah, I suppose it was the scope. The internals of that communication array. That was like, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the fact there's some form of interaction here, even if it's just going on. But that's cool because people can then attack each other in there. They can do clever things or silly things there. They can wait in ambush.
We're actually looking at it right now.
But it was the are the missions, because there's going to be quite a few missions available, are they going to be the dynamic modular missions that the Foundry 42 Germany was talking about?
That's the most important question.
I don't think that their procedural generation missions are ready yet. I think they said that there was a set, from what I remember, from the thing, because I only watched the actual CitizenCon when it was live, and I was talking with Twerk and talking to chat and everything at the same time. But if I recall correctly, they said there was something like 38 to 40 missions, and it sounds like they were pre-made. From what I understand, I know that they're talking about working on the procedural gen for missions, and they were talking about that just recently, prior to CitizenCon. So I'm gonna go. I don't think that the procedural missions are quite ready yet, but they made
the PU demo, so we might get them at launch.
Oh, so good.
I would imagine we get them at launch. I don't think we're gonna have them for this PTU. I think that the missions that we're getting are going to be scripted ones that are in there. I don't think that they're going to...
And that will eventually kind of... replayability will lose itself, but hopefully by the time that replayability
Look at this
does...
game, man. Look at this game.
Listen, I'm going to play the hell out of it, but
Make your own missions.
Yeah, and I will.
Hold down the comm relay.
Yeah, of course. We'll just be creative and be goofy.
Yeah.
But I'm always concerned about... because of the progress that we've been throughout this game, because we've been there since the beginning, those dead moments, right, where not as many people are testing the game.
Not going to be you're not going to see that with us.
These servers are basically free flight servers. They're always going to be up. So you jump into a game, there's going to be 30 other people playing.
Yeah, and there's going to be
true,
things going on
and you can do
already.
your own thing.
And you're going to be able to do your own missions. You don't need objectives. You can set up your own objectives, right? They're like, as a pirate org, we might start doing some piratey things and people are going to start to hate us, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be the stuff that you can do with orgs, right? We're going to be able to go and hold down space stations. We're going to be able to go and attack other players' ships when they're trying to do just whatever.
Yeah. It's going to be available in the lift, and you'll be able to see where your friends are. You go, I'll join their instance. Oh, I know that Saurus is fucking running havoc with his pirate organisation there. I'm going to grab all my mates online and we're going to go and sort him out. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
And like...
it's my fun face.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I mean... I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm super excited about it. I remember what I was going to say now. The thing that I noticed in the demo, and I mentioned it during our live stream, was, did you guys notice that the guys that you were flying with were... there was no determining of friendly or enemy. Because it is essentially a free fly mode. So
I'm assuming if they're in your friends list, that's a total
possibility.
Assumption.
It's a possibility, but in the demo, it was not there.
This is the other thing. Would your ship really know who is your friend and who isn't your friend?
You'd have to program it in. You'd have to say,
right?
You'd have to tell it. Yeah.
Right. But it's the same thing in FPS. FPS, you would have to program it in or something like that. So I honestly think, even though it's not going to stay this way, I think it should stay like that. I think it should be something that you need to pay attention to what you're shooting at. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. You can't just go balls to the wall and just be like, I'm going to kill everything around me and accidentally kill my friends.
I'll prove you wrong. I'm going to go balls to the wall every time now.
From the windows to the walls.
Yeah. As like a reasonable segue to that, there was a station that had a little FPS map on it. And I think what I noticed was it was pretty dark, and I'm pretty sure there was some friendly fire going on.
Because there was definitely friendly fire going on.
Because there was no indicator of who was your friend and who wasn't. It wasn't clear, like, this is Team Red, this is Team Blue. Buy my blue t-shirt, by the way. Thank you very much. There was a lot of friendly fire, and it's just, there's no distinction. And I thought that was interesting, because it won't break immersion then.
Right.
That was good.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, and this goes back again. I think it's good that there's, obviously, I like the fact that there's friendly fire. There's games where there's friendly fire where I mess up and I shoot my teammates back, but I think in the long term it helps people's communication abilities with their friends and everything like that. And the sooner we can start doing that, the better it's gonna be. So I actually don't mind it. I'm glad that it's not in where your friends are lit up as blue and you can see them through the wall. And I don't know if we're ever gonna see it like that.
So anyone that plays Rust or Ark or stuff regularly, they'll be relatively good at being able to determine whether it's friend or foe. But you come up with ways to communicate who you are without verbal. You just look at each other.
Is that how the system is as well? There's no indicators in those games. You just see a person.
I'm assuming that you will only be able to see their name at close range with your mobi glass on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you'll have to show a way from visually who it is. So, for example, in Rust, me and my friends have got the code, which is you see another player, you immediately jump. If you don't jump, you just shoot the player.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's. Do you remember? Do you remember DayZ? You had the wiggle, the back and forth wiggle, right? It was a thing because you wouldn't be able to tell on some servers, and it's the same thing with Arma. You wouldn't be able to tell because there's no name or anything. And if you're in a server where it's like a survival server or something like that, and you run across your friend, you don't know if it's a friend or a foe, and you see they have a weapon, you don't have time to react. So whatever. So you have a wiggle or you'll have a crouch. Maybe because of all of the emotes and everything, maybe there'll be a certain emote that you can use.
Like it might take too long though. That's the thing. You need to be within a fraction of a second making a choice whether to shoot the person in the face or not.
Right. Well, that's assuming that we may be able to bind emotes to hotkeys or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think you have to say that you're a pregnant woman with 3 sets of twins in your belly. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna survive. Oh my God, I'm going to play a woman character and tell everybody I'm pregnant. Don't kill me.
We can do Hunger Games. I mean, that's the first thing we should do when this comes live. Hunger Games.
Oh yeah.
The other thing as well is
1.3.
Once voice comms come in, you can just say, "Hey, who are you?"
It's me.
Yeah, exactly.
Your friend.
We can do Hunger Games. We can do Hunger Games in 1.3 later today. We can do Hunger Games in buggies.
Yeah.
Look at how excited Board Gamer is. It's like he just figured out how to invent something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
amazing.
I don't think people realise how this baby PTU is going to be months worth of gameplay for me. I'm not going to get bored of it.
It is a big deal, and it's going to last. It just adds so much.
Because you could swap from as a streamer, you want to keep things as interesting as possible at all times, right? You could swap from Baby PU to Arena Commander to hopefully Star Marine soon, and just there's always going to be something during your cast. You're never going to get bored, which means your chat's never going to get bored, and there's always going to be something to do, and it's going to be exciting. I mean, this news it's great because it just kind of now if they put something out like this, I don't know how you guys feel about it. But if they put out something like this for me, this is close enough to a playable-ish game that they can take their time. I'm in no rush now.
Well, this is the thing: is once they have this in, I think all of the base tech is in. Yeah. Right. So then it's just them adding assets and expanding the universe.
For me, they need this and the ability to earn temporary UEC.
Well, that's apparently what's happening with
I've heard this
right?
also. Yes, indeed. I heard this also as well. But if that's implemented at the same time immediately, I mean, that's going to be amazing. Being able to buy the ships for a limited period, being able to buy silly stuff for a limited period, and first-person shooter weapons. Oh my God.
Yeah, and I'll share what I heard because I heard it from neither of you two, and I've heard it from nobody that was at CitizenCon. But essentially, these missions you will earn UEC, and there will be fairly often there will be wipes. So you will experience having UEC and purchasing a ship that you will have forever, essentially, but until a wipe happens.
The wipe,
yeah. But you will experience that. There won't be REC where you only had it for 7 days and it doesn't feel like it's yours and you earned it because it goes away. This one you'll have actually earned something. Yeah.
I have also heard an exceptionally similar thing.
Okay.
From CitizenCon.
It was from nobody that was at CitizenCon, so maybe it came down the telephone.
Here's that friendly fire you're talking about, where he's like, screw this guy, and screw this guy, and screw you too, and he just goes
anyone
on a rampage.
That was near him, he just went on a rampage. Yeah.
But these are the things that are going to be really fun, right? It's like you go in with all of your friends, and you're like, all right, let's do free for all, let's do whatever, and there's no nothing to detract you from doing those kind of things. Like there's
Yeah.
no permadeath in this yet. There's nothing. So it's going to be nice to really explore what your options are and what sort of fun little things you can create on your own. But is there anything else we want to talk about Arena Commander 2.0? I'm trying not to turn this into a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah, other than you can now EVA out of your ship, so anywhere while you're flying, that's a big thing. And
I think
repairing.
we can get that from our current patch, though, 1.3.
1.3 will be able
F.
to do it.
Yeah,
It looks like.
we'll be able to
Yeah.
do that. That's what that sounds like.
So that's not relevant anymore for the baby PU because we'll have it, and repairing will be a thing. So we have the little bots that repair, and there'll be a more robust system later. I thought that was really cool.
Apologies, I've got a horrible cough. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay. You got that CitizenCon.
And we're gonna talk about the star map here in a little bit, but I just wanted to show here, if you go and you search Stanton, you
yes.
can see the area, and it's really interesting because
It's so small.
It's so small, the area that we're gonna be in, but it's also dense with all kinds of little. Like you have Crusader Planet, you have your space stations and everything here, and there's a lot of them here. But if you go to another system, that stuff isn't really populated in yet. So it's really interesting, and you can
and
also
this
go
is
down
one of the
here
more populated systems as well.
right as well. But I think we're as they start to create more content, we're going to start to see more
stuff.
space stations and things come in than what we have, because this is obviously the most by far. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 space stations around this planet. I haven't. I've spent a lot of time in the star map.
Yeah, there's nothing else like
There's
this.
nowhere even close to like this. They have some of the known space stations that are out there, but they don't have anything even close like this. They need to still put out all those fuel stations and repair stations and all of that other stuff as well. There's going to be all kinds of like comm relays. They're going to have to populate with all of those and all kinds of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. I just wanted to show this map. But
when the game goes live, are we thinking that this map's going to be entirely dynamic about what's happening in the verse?
yes.
Absolutely, 100%.
God,
So-
it's going to be so good.
but-
The things
the
that are
one thing-
private will stay private. The things that go public will go public on the map. This is the thing with the map is, and the Star Citizen website in general, is it has an API that directly talks to the game right away. We see that already with the leaderboards. So it's gonna do things like, grab the map information. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same map we're gonna get in game, that we're gonna be able to take a look at in our Mobi-Glass. So seeing that stuff in there, and seeing it communicate is really awesome.
Absolutely. And I mean, I don't know if the economy things and threat levels are going to change that quickly, because again, we're one player to every 9 NPCs. So they're still going to have a major control over what happens in the verse, right? Where we will not have that much control, but I do think it will update. It just updates won't be that big unless CIG decides to make them big, and they might have a story arc where the Vandal attack here and we have to defend and whatever, but huge changes, I don't know how often they'll happen.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see.
We
It's
will.
just a matter of time. Going forward, we hit 1 million citizens,
Woo!
right?
We
So there was a letter from the chairman with a cool little video from Gary Oldman, which was really nice, where he basically talked directly to us. I think this was meant to be shown at CitizenCon, but maybe it wasn't quite ready, so they threw it in with this. But here they explained that alpha packages and arena commander passes and beta no longer need to be. We didn't even get to beta, and it's irrelevant on accounts now.
Yeah.
So for those of you with alpha accounts, you're going to get 10,000 UEC as compensation for that, for every account. From what I understood from
purchase
Lando's
of alpha.
post, and everybody who had a separate arena commander pass will get each one of those refunded for $5 credits on their account that they can use that towards. They can go and buy $5 worth of UEC, or they can go and put that towards a ship or equipment or whatever it is they want to do. It was really cool. This was something that came out of left field, I think, for a lot of people.
Oh, big time.
Oh, did it? Did it come out of left field, did it? I remember saying it on our first podcast together ever.
But we didn't believe you.
Didn't believe me.
I wasn't listening. But
Nothing changes. Nothing's changed.
what?
Just like today.
Yeah, just like today. But yeah, so in honor of the new citizens, they did all that. The millionth person was Eden Star. And that person actually put something up in their bio that says, it just dawned on me that there were tons of posts welcoming me to the community with my profile posted around. Since I don't think I can personally thank everyone everywhere, I'd like to say a big thank you for the warm reception, as well as a hearty congratulations to the development team and all the backers before me that kept this project moving. A special shout out to Pike Zen, which is his friend, for having such contagious excitement for Star Citizen, constantly throwing Star Citizen related news and videos around. He convinced a number of our friends to join, and I began to worry if I will never hear from them once the game is released. So very, very cool thing where
he put it on his thing. I thought that was awesome.
Well,
P.S.
him
I
being
do not.
nice.
I do not intend on selling or trading accounts, so please refrain from asking. Thank you.
Because you know he had 1 million responses already.
It's better
That's
than a
right.
golden ticket, millionth citizen.
Right?
But Pikeson got a Sabre as well. Eden Star and Pikeson
Yes,
both given a
they
Sabre.
both got a Sabre.
But so Pikeson must be so happy with Eden Star giving him that shout out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's why he's
Right?
got it.
Exactly.
Why don't you
Unlo-
guys give me enough shouts? Jeez.
Well, there's the thing is maybe he used his referral code as well,
Perhaps.
Oh yeah.
which they would have
So
been
then
able
they
to
know.
track. Yeah. So in other news, so that being said, if you have a game package, you can play. You do not need to worry about anything. I think that lowers the entry level as well. You can get an Aurora ES game package that doesn't come with beta
$35.
or alpha. It's $35. So the price of entry just dropped by $10, which is going to be enticing to a lot more players, right?
Yeah.
The star map is live. It is amazing looking.
Oh.
I know we showed it a little bit already. I'm going to go into it here. It is... Wow, okay. Yeah, somebody else... I'm going to mess around in it here. Somebody else talk about it.
Yeah,
while I pull it up.
I'll just briefly go over it because we have. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it for the most part, and what you'll see is pretty much what you get in every system. It's amazing looking. It is super easy to use. It's very intuitive. You see,
It's very quick as well.
very quick. Yeah, I mean the first day it wasn't because everybody was on it, but now that it's people are here and there, it's really cool. What you're showing on screen now, I still haven't seen. That's a black hole.
That's the only black hole that we know of at the moment.
That's cool. That's very cool. So obviously they want us to go and find them in the future. But there's a search function. So if you're thinking about a system that you want to go see, if you want to go to Seoul, you want to go to Vega, like there's some lore on Vega that just popped up today as well on the website. You go and check it out. It's super easy with the search function. Then there's a bookmark function, so you can bookmark your favorite systems or potentially systems that you want to avoid. There's routes. So if I want to go
the jump points.
exactly, if I want to go from Seoul to Vega, it will tell you the shortest route. You can take routes in only large jump points because you have a large ship. Yeah.
I can't even tell you how long I've spent in the star map doing what I'm doing right now, just going
jumping
through
around.
jump points and just looking at stuff, right? Just
So
seeing.
if people that know stuff about websites, even for people that don't, this is so impressive. When it was shown at
This is very
CitizenCon,
impressive.
another one of my gasp moments is when they said,
Yeah.
and it's available on the website now. And I was like, what? That's a what?
Yeah, I thought this
That's
was
it.
going to be in game.
That was absolutely amazing. And
Absolutely.
with that in mind, I believe I've just dropped a link in on chat. They are Turbulent are looking for people to vote their website as like the most inventive website ever. At the moment, it's going to get shortlisted for some sort of prize. So if people
Oh,
want
wow.
to have a read of that there, and if they feel strongly about Turbulent having a good website here, and thinking that this is awesome, then please vote for them.
Yeah, definitely. I certainly will. And then there's on top.
You were in that Banu system, aren't you? You were on the Banu racing system and Sabre system.
I'm just jumping.
He's
all
everywhere.
over. Yeah.
They have the ability to filter. So if you want to do that, the filter for population, economy, and threat level. So population will come up green, economy will be yellow, and threat level will be red. So the more dense the color, the more population, the more dense the color, the higher the economic strength is, and the more dense the red, the higher the threat level in each system.
The other cool thing is the Vanguard, or not the Vanguard, the Vanduul systems are UE military classified, and they have like this pixelated thing. You can still see everything. You can still get information on a lot of this stuff. Some of it you can't. You can still see some of the jump points, but
even
you
some
can't.
planets in some of the systems that used to be UE.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like we were like, give us the star map already, come on. And like we didn't realize the scale that they were doing this to, but it's just like
I wish I had the video of the initial star map.
I was looking for it.
Presentation. I saw it earlier this week. I should have bookmarked it.
It looks nothing like this, if I remember.
It's comparable from the old Hornet. Remember the original Hornet
the new
from
one,
the and that's like the level of fidelity.
Yeah.
I can give you the link in a second if I can work out how to look at my video history from today.
But obviously, like one of the things that pops in my mind is you could start planning your trade routes potentially. Like I'm gonna take, because like in a lot of the jump points and a lot of the galactic guides, there's lore on what items are good to buy in certain systems and what items are good to sell in certain systems. So you can start thinking about some trade routes that you want to do with your, I don't know, your constellation, your hull A, your hull B, and you can base on the size of your ship and the jump points. You can start making trade routes that you're going to start in game with, and you can also start thinking about where's your starting hangar going to be. Like all these things can start running through your mind, when before it was like, let's wait until they give us the star map. Like all that stuff is just wow, you know?
Yeah.
There's so many things that you can think about with that. So it's really, really, really exciting for me. The star map was, besides the baby PU,
it's very impressive. It's just hands down like extremely impressive. So
absolutely.
Let me just remind everybody right now that we do have a Merlin giveaway happening right now. Just make sure you give myself Twerk17 a follow and give Board Gamer a subscribe on YouTube if you guys want to post your links in chat. Type !Merlin in chat. Twitch does not sponsor or endorse any of our giveaways, and this Merlin was graciously donated by Uber Monkey, aka Board Gamer. Look at him. He's so excited.
So, Dead Crab, we'll get you limbs soon. Don't worry, Dead Crab.
Poor crab.
Poor
Going around
crab.
killing things.
Poor crab.
Yeah, so let's move on to the monthly report for this month.
It was lengthy, that's
It
for sure.
was a
So
long one.
I kind of went through and picked out some of the little exciting things that we put in there. Some of them we've gone over already, so I'll like cross those out and stuff. But the AI module is complete, they said, and they also kind of talked about this on 10 for the chairman, or 10 for the designers, where we'll be able to fill empty seats in our multi-crew ships with AI. And not only that, because they kind of mentioned this on 10 for the chairman as well, so we'll go kind of put these two together
well, it was
right
10
now.
for the designers, right?
Yeah,
last
I
week?
keep saying 10 for the chairman. 10 for the designers, where they mentioned how not only will we be able to crew our ship that we're in with NPCs, but other ships that we own with NPCs. So the AI module is pretty there. Now I wonder if one of the things that they're hiding back from us in 1.3 is maybe AI is walking around ArcCorp a little bit. If it's complete. So that was another thing that I thought was pretty interesting. Full steam ahead on character customization, so we're going to see that in 1.3 as well, with the change of our loadout system inside of our hangar, right?
Yep.
Crucible concept is very close, so they're hitting us with ships, man. They're hitting us with ships.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one after another for some time, and not because they need money, but because they got their system down.
They have their systems ready to go, right? I mean, it takes time to sort of build into that and to get a feel for that and get that optimized to the point. And it will continue to become optimized.
Absolutely.
As time goes on.
It's only going to get better.
And
Yeah.
just like you guys said when we were talking about the Sabre, you know, this stuff is going to come along quicker. We're going to start to see ships go from concept to in hangar to in flight a lot quicker than we've ever seen them before, and it's just going to continue to rapidly develop.
Yeah, and some people were asking what the Crucible was. The Crucible's supposed to be like the end game repair ship, so this massive ship that can repair who knows how big of a ship and how many or whatever, but it's supposed to be the big massive
I think
repair.
I think they're about to repair any size ship because they're supposed to build those giant lattices in groups of them if they have to.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So there you go.
Everything from a Merlin up to a Javelin or even
bigger,
possibly larger.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool. I just want to show some of the artwork in here because I think a lot of it
is awesome.
Is really awesome and is kind of important. So this thing that we're looking at here first, this is the interior of the Herald. So this is the computer station here. You have a little gun rack and you have your server racks and all of this other stuff. Very cool looking. I really like the color coordination of that.
And why they were showing that was because of the component system, which
That's right.
That's just one of the things in the monthly report where they said they've blocked out the components and where they're going to be on every single ship at this point.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
We have a lineup of the Vanguards here. We have the Reliant is coming along. The restructuring of Astro Armada and some other buildings like ArtCorp, the Jobwell and things like that. Some other odds and ends and walls and just things to give it more fidelity. We have some fashion casual stuff for the female characters that should be coming in shortly. We're seeing, like I said, more structure stuff for in ArtCorp. Here, I think this is what we're looking at is the mining platform. I could be mistaken, or this could be something that's part of Nyx as well. This could either be either a part of Nyx or this could be part of Shubin. But very cool. And then up here you see the Retaliator. No, not Retaliator. The Retribution is in the background right here.
Big boy.
That's what that is. So I think I'm not sure what building this is or what station this is, but it's either Shubin or from Nyx. Showing some of the pipeline stuff, some explosion stuff, which was really cool. Showing some of the detail in ArtCorp and things that they're changing. So very cool stuff all in all, for sure.
Now one of the things with the explosions is they mentioned this in the monthly report that there is a spiral system that's coming in where basically when you kill somebody, a ship's going to spiral out of control, and it's going to be different, all sorts of it's going to be different multiple times. So basically, you're going to have some sort of. You can't memorize it, but it's going to be it's going to be rewarding when you kill somebody more than they just die and you get the little you killed and the numbers. You're going to see something.
Is this part of them being able to escape from their ship as well?
Potentially. What I see it as, and one of the things that I noticed was obviously, we saw those ships just disappear in the baby PU. Maybe that system was not ready to go just yet for that thing.
So they just so they got rid of it.
So they just instead of going into that animation, they just disappeared. You know, so that's kind of what I thought maybe was going on, but who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
PTU patch is live. PTU patch is live,
and that's actually good timing because I don't think we talked about everything in 10 for the designers.
Yep.
So we're not actually going to go over that. So this is what's going to happen, guys. We are going to.
I just loaded my launcher though.
Did you load your launcher from the shortcut or did you load your launcher from the launcher thing?
I might be wrong. I was just reading what they said in chat.
Yeah. I also didn't copy an account over to the PTU either yet. So That
Yeah,
could probably be the
you would
problem.
have to do that. So let me pull my thing up here, and we'll do it live on the podcast here, and we'll take a look and see if it's there. But yeah, so just a heads up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put while we're doing this, guys, exclamation point question in chat if you have questions for us. We should have been saying that the whole time.
I borked on
I
it too,
derped
but there's
on
so
that.
much information.
There is so much information. I'm going to put 15 minutes left on this raffle, and then when that's done, we're going to draw it. We will draw it before we go offline on this, and then obviously we'll be coming back after. So here we go, 15 minutes left on that. Exclamation point Merlin in chat to win yourself a free Merlin. And let's take a look and see if we have this. So yes, let's go here. Look at that sweet, sweet background. All right, let me hide my my password.
Oh, people can hear it tapped out on the keyboard.
Yeah, they
Right?
know.
Do they just
They know.
can just go by Morse code?
Yeah, that's how keyboards work, by Morse code.
Morse
I don't
code.
think it's live.
So peer to peer, no, I don't see it.
You got trolled. I got trolled. You trollersons.
It's
Well,
not
no,
there
you-
yet.
you
This is the
kids.
thing is
Guys, even Will
it's-
Everett said so. They're
It's
not
coming
trolling us.
soon.
Yeah, Will
Okay.
Will Everett said in the thing. It just the internet might still be updating. It hasn't.
The
got to us
internet.
yet.
Listen, the internet doesn't work at the speed of light. Okay,
No,
it's only 0.2 C.
it works at the speed of electricity. Come on.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions, exclamation point question in chat, fill out the form, and we will be more than happy to answer that stuff. Until that point, let's talk about what we're excited for this patch. What is the first thing you're gonna do?
I'm
Buggies.
racing. We're buggies. I am smashing into Board Gamers buggy. That's what
I'm
I'm
gonna
doing.
smash into your buggy, Twerk.
We'll see who
Bring
dies
it.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both gonna die because
We're
they
both gonna
explode.
Yeah, but it's going to be the most satisfying death I've ever had.
Buggy glitching is going to be amazing. You're going to be able
Yeah.
to do little jumps. We do ramps. We need to find ramps. I hope people are like speed bumps. I want to get my buggy in the bar. There's just so many things I want to do.
Okay, so it does seem like we have quite a few questions already, so I'm going to start with those. From Sean Hag, this was actually asked yesterday. What roles are you guys planning on taking in the persistent universe? Trader, miner, pirate? Let's try and keep these answers as short and as concise as possible. So Twerk17, what are you going to be?
Mining, trading, both of them.
There you go. Board gamer.
Mining and science, yeah.
Okay, I am a dirty, dirty pirate. So, Sean Hag, thanks for the question. And, I mean, we'll be doing everything else. I'll probably be like a pirate and a racer.
Yeah, like I
and
kind of
we'll
want to
be
do a little bit
testing-
of everything each day, but yeah.
Exactly, but those are our favorite things. From Twerkosaurus. What do you think about shaving your heads to join the bald-headed gamers team? The coolest damn team on the interwebs.
I got a haircut.
Number one, I think we're already all part of the coolest damn team on the internet.
Yeah.
Called Redacted.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with hairstyles. I mean, I'll shave my head. I don't really care. I do it all the time. But
Yeah.
yeah. Ghostwalker21 has a couple questions in a row here. Have you guys seen or read the new letter from the chairman? I was wondering what your thoughts were on it.
It was
We
great.
kind of.
Next,
it was
next
awesome.
question. Boom.
We went over it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We answered his question.
we kind of covered that already. So they've estimated alpha passes. Latest letter from the chairman. Good thing, bad thing. Personally, I like it. It makes it less confusing, more fun for everybody. But if you're one of those who paid for the passes, how would you feel? Well, they're refunding your money.
Yeah, you're getting your $5 back.
Yeah, as credit. So it's
wouldn't feel too
completely
bad.
fine. Eric McKetton asks, it appears as if the freelancer is close to flight ready. Based on the patch notes, how hyped are you on a scale of 1 to 10, and why is it 0? Well, for me, it's
Why is it an
I'm-
11? Why is it an 11? He said.
Yeah, it says why is it 11. For me personally, I am not that excited for it. I understand why other people are excited for it. I don't have one. I don't intend on getting one.
What is your need to hate on MISC ships then?
No, it's not. I don't
Why'd you hate
hate
this?
on MISC ships. I don't.
Okay.
I like the Endeavor.
You
Right?
see
The whole
every
series
MISC
is
ship.
awesome.
as a juicy prize for a pirate to rank.
I do.
That's what
I
this
do.
is.
No,
It's
it
just-
is. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's going to be awesome to see more diversity in the game. And to me, that's the most important thing. The diversity is what's going to make it feel really alive. So I guess it's not really a 0. It's closer to an 11 because we are going to see that, and it does give me more targets. So
Me, I'm 11 out of bacon. Yeah.
11 out of bacon.
I mean,
And-
I want to see, as long as it's going to affect well in multi-crew, I think it's going to be a great two-person, effectively a fighter. That's why it's going to be playing in the baby PU, I think, because it's got big guns on it. So it's a powerful ship.
Yeah. I mean, it does have some big guns on it. Deltron 3030 asks specifically to Board Gamer, Potato Master Race. Do you think they will make variants for the Potato, maybe a 2-seater Super Potato?
I very much doubt it. So the Super Potato is already a Super Gladius. That ship, its lore behind it is that it was made as a bid ship, so it's very unlikely that it would have any other variants of it because they would have had to have got the contract first. So you'll be able to, it'll be slightly modular, so you'll be able to make it into slightly different roles, probably more stealthy or slightly e-warfare or something like that, but it will be modular based rather than variant based.
Achillean asks, will the Sabre's weapons be sufficient against similar tier ship fights? Hell yes. They're fairly big for what they are, being able to run 4 size 3s on them. I don't think there's any ships that can do that currently. Plus,
It's going to be very focused as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like it's going to be pretty quick. So I think so. It's basically a Super Gladius. And the Gladius is already...
Six size 2 missiles, man. Come on.
Yeah. And it's
So
already
much
fair. The Gladius is already a strong ship in Arena Commander. So, but thank you, Achillean, for your question. Ghostwalker21 asks, what about the video message from Gary Oldman in the latest Chairman post? I think the actors are really... Okay, that's not really a question, but...
I should probably stop you if you want to start downloading the PTU. It's up.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh
So
my
if you
god.
guys want to do that, I'll start downloading that after we're done these questions, and I'll show you guys how to do that.
I didn't know
for
what
those
you
people
wanted to
who
do,
don't know
so
how
I
to
thought
do that.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you will do in the Baby Persistent universe? Asked by GamerDude UK. Also, I want to give a little shout out to GamerDude UK, who came out of nowhere and subbed to me last night when I wasn't around. So thanks for that. But for me, the first thing I'm going to do in the Baby PU is start pirating people, because we haven't been able to do that yet. And
I think I'm going to go from one station to the next and explore.
yeah, that's probably the first thing. Is probably
look
explore
around.
everything and check stuff out. It'll be the very first thing I'll do. Board Gamer? He's not listening.
I don't know. Okay, so it's too much for me. It's just a little bit too much. I'm gonna get a ship and I'm probably gonna ram it.
Just give
into
him a
someone else's
buggy,
ship.
he'll be fine. Just give him a buggy, he'll figure it out. From Ghostwalker 21, with all the big stuff from CitizenCon, what do you personally speculate the release roadmap for all the different components, Squadron 42, Baby PU, etc.? I know Twerk doesn't like estimating on this kind of stuff. The Baby PU, I think we're going to see before the end of November. Squadron 42, we're going to see probably halfway through next year. Anything out beyond that, and even that, I'm not sure. I know that Star Marine is going to come after the Baby PU. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
I think very soon after, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be very soon afterwards. I think you're pretty accurate with your timescales there.
I think before the end of the year
I would
for Baby
expect
PU.
that even...
Yeah, Twerk is a little more pessimistic for...
Yeah, I think
for
before
some
the end of
things.
November.
Yeah, I'm going to say before the end of November as well.
But, I mean... I think even when that squadron, even when the first-person shooter module is fully complete, I think they will still do a little bit of polish to it just before they release it, because there's no point in them not doing that now.
Yeah. And just a reminder, guys, if you do have any questions, we still have some time left. Exclamation point question in chat. Feel free to ask it to one of us directly. You can ask about our channels, about Star Citizen, anything as long as it's relevant to one of us or Star Citizen or the podcast. So feel free to bring those questions in. Elementalism 91. So which multi-crew ships do you think are flight ready when 2.0 is released? We know there's going to be a couple. The Constellation, the Retaliator, Obviously, the Cutlass is already in there. We're going to see the Super Hornet is a multi-crew ship. Go ahead.
Yeah, Super Hornet is, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not... There's stuff with the Cutlass, isn't there? They're not 100% sure that whether the Cutlass is going to be ready or not, so...
Well, we might have the Cutlass we have now. And the Cutlass we have now would work as a multi-crew ship, right? Like, basically, it's something that spawns and you can go in and get in it, right? There's nothing really to run. I guess the turret, if they fix the turret by then. But everything, it's there. You can already multi-crew.
They've talked a lot about the Cutlass. Well, they've talked a lot about the Cutlass, and they keep on saying that it's almost ready, which would suggest to me there's a blocker that they haven't worked out yet. But that's just me being pessimistic now.
Yeah, so I think those are the ones that are guaranteed. We might see things like the Freelancer. We might see things like the Herald come into play, which is a 2-person ship. We might see some of those other smaller multi-crew ships start to come in. We don't know what's ready right now. We don't know if the Redeemer is or what constellation variants. Yeah, what constellation variants? We don't know. The hull A, the hull B. We don't.
Constellation, we do know. That was something that they.
But do we know it's all the constellations, or is it just the Andromeda?
They said they're finished with just the Andromeda. They're deciding whether this was from a few weeks back when Shipshape was still there. The decisions are being made whether to take the assets, as in the artists, to either work on the constellation variants or finish the Herald. Those are the two choices.
Yeah.
The stream may have just went offline.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No, a load of people are having problems because they're all downloading the PTU.
That's
while
why.
Trying to watch the stream.
Yeah. You can't watch. You can't do both.
No.
Yeah, especially if you have peer-to-peer on.
Yeah.
Which I would suggest everybody turn that off if you're watching this. But no, the stream's not down. I would know.
Okay.
I have not dropped a single frame in the almost 2 hours.
No, a few people were saying it, so I was like, I don't know.
Just a reminder, we have 3 minutes left on the raffle. We have 203 people entered into it. If you do want entered into that, make sure that you type !Merlin in chat. Do me a favor, just as a courtesy, follow my channel, follow Twerk's channel, and subscribe to Board Gamers YouTube. Next one coming from Deltron3030. He says, "Don't worry, Twerk 17 will carry you. Have you guys looked for a home system in the star map? Which systems look good to you and why?" For myself personally, I haven't really taken too much into this yet, as we don't know enough out there. I mean, it's cool to see the different sizes of the jump points that are known, but there's going to be a lot of jump points that are unknown, and there's a lot of other factors that factor into where we're going to set up as a home system or multiple home systems. I need to know more. It's too early for me. I don't know about you guys.
I don't think it's too early for me, but it was too early in the sense that I have just been looking at the star map and exploring and haven't thought about that yet.
Yeah. Now,
it just hasn't.
I'm going to extend on that question. Are you guys going to... Is your home map going to be close to where your org is set up? Like, I don't know, Twerk, if for example, Imperium has something where you guys all need to be in the same...
They don't... I know that they haven't decided... I don't know if they want us all in one system, but I know that from the old map, they had made some decisions on a system that they were interested in exploring first.
Yes.
Like one of the unknown ones. So perhaps.
And Board Gamer?
So, I'm basically I make sure that everything happens in the org, and my org's relatively small and full of people that I know personally. So,
sounds like mine.
It'll be really, really easy for me to make sure everyone's in the same system or near systems together. Right. So yeah, we'll be moving around, and we'll work out somewhere on the fringes that's relatively safe to spawn in. It'll be somewhere on the fringes. I'm not sure where. Yeah. And it will almost certainly be on a Vandal front, because we in fiction hate Vandal. So
right. Yep. So I want to preface mine with that for those of you that have more than one package, you're going to start with more than one hangar. So I think we're going to be in multiple systems for different things.
I have like 4 packages or something.
Yeah, I have like 3 or something. So it's... I don't think it's going to be super necessary, but I am going to want, at least because we know for my organization I have hardcore and non-hardcore players, I'm going to want the hardcore players at least to be in one of those systems. The non-hardcore players can go and do whatever they want. Set Middle asks, do we have an internet browser in-game for not breaking the immersion? Not yet.
I think
Perhaps.
we almost certainly will, though.
I think we'll almost certainly will. And I have a really good feeling that, you know how I was talking before, how I wanted to be able to watch Twitch streams or YouTube videos and stuff like that?
Yes.
I think the fact that we have that built into the website, they could use that API right there because they can curate that content to what goes into the universe. So we may be able to see those YouTube videos and stuff. That may become an option later on, whether you want people to be able to watch it in the universe because it will affect your ad revenue or whatever. But for me, for sure, if I can make it so people can watch my Twitch stream live from their ship on their Phoenix while they're traveling through space, that would be super awesome to me. Like, that's one of the biggest things I'm super excited for and nerding out about. But I think that we will see an internet browser in-game. In your mobiGlass. Ujuru asks, back in April, Ben announced a concept sale for Trout. Any word from CitizenCon on when this concept sale will happen?
Screw you, Ujuru.
No. Momentu asks, it's a military ship sale. Why isn't the Carrack up again? Because the Carrack is not a military ship, it's an exploration ship.
Yeah,
Not even close. Not even close to a military ship. IDD KFA asks, being able to fill all ships you don't use with an full NPC crew, doing missions, hauling, etc., is this going too far?
My opinion,
Well, we
yes.
don't know exactly how many NPCs you're allowed to have, because originally they talked about 10. Now, I think it's fine if you... It's going to be hard to manage, and it's going to be expensive to do it correctly.
It's going to be expensive.
And it's going to be really risky. Those NPC crews could just be pounced upon by players.
Yeah. We don't know how the NPCs are going to work.
Yeah, well, in the 10 for the designers, they mentioned it a bit, and that you can have them flying other ships of yours and crewing them and things like that. So the first thing that came to a lot of people's minds when you say, yes, it's expensive,
Right.
these huge orgs, money doesn't matter. So then, not only are these huge orgs going to be able to have all the live people, but all those live people's NPCs as well.
Right.
So,
well, it depends on
knows?
if that affects the netcode or whatever as well. But we don't know enough about it to say it's going too far or not. Greg Goomba
Do we
asked
think you're going to be able to... Whoa. Do we think we're going to be able to hire NPC pirates? Because they're going to be outlawed.
Yeah.
Is that...
Why wouldn't you be able to?
you might have to go to
you'd have to
Pyro to
find
hire them.
Yeah, you would have to go to Spider or something to hire them, but why wouldn't you be able to?
Yeah.
Great, but thank you, IDD, for the great question. Greg Goomba asks to me, do I think that the Cutlass will have a med-based mobile spawn point in the baby PU? I don't know. Now, I know you're talking about the Cutlass Red. I don't know if it'll have the spawn point. I know that the Endeavor as a hospital will. I know that things like the Med Center in Area 18 and ArtCorp will be also a spawn point. I don't know if the Cutlass has the facilities to warrant that.
I think it will, however, be used to do medic stuff, but you'll be able to drag people back there to heal them eventually.
I think in the baby PU, what's going to happen is you'll just respawn at the place where you log in at when you go into the baby PU. I think that's how they're going to do it initially. How they do it later on, I'm not too sure. But Great Goomba, thank you for the question. And guys, I understand that the raffle is ended. I'm going to draw it after we're done these questions here. So we only have a few left, and then once we're done these ones, so don't bother putting in any more questions because we're going to finish this and then we're going to end the podcast and then we'll come back on and I'll show you guys how to download the PTU and all that other stuff if you have any questions. Achillian asks, is there an ETA on when Star Citizen goes beta? Will there be any wipes after Star Citizen has gone into the beta phase?
No ETA on when it goes beta, but I think obviously there'll be some wipes.
We know that we're pretty sure that there's gonna be wipes during the beta and going up until the full release.
Some point during 2016, probably. And remember, we'll get warnings before it goes beta, but you've got to apply your upgrades to your ships and stuff like that before the game goes beta.
Yeah. beta.
Mm-hmm.
This is bugging you. Ghostwalker21 asks, right now most ships are focused on military stuff, which makes them more utilitarian and just a vehicle. What, in your opinion, could they do to make ships feel more like a home in space? I'm specifically talking about interiors. I want stuff like worn-out bunks, chairs, couches, etc., etc. I think we're starting to see that already with some of the ships anyways. I agree with you. I would like to see more of this. I'm just going to leave it at that for my answer.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything to add to that at all?
I mean, well, like, look at the Mustang beta, right? It's just... that's what they can do. It's just more stuff like that. That feels like a little house. And I think a lot of people love that ship because of the interior of it. And I think we will see more stuff like this. A lot of the concept ships that we've seen the outside of them. We haven't seen the interior concepts.
You're going to have to see some more interior, though, because what is Star Citizen? It's just rocks and space, isn't it, Saurus?
It's just rocks and space. You also have to remember that the reason we're seeing so many military ships is because of Squadron 42 coming out before Star Citizen. So it's more important for them to have military ships and the alien ships and stuff like that than civilian ships, which is going to be more important afterwards.
Was that the Argo utility ship at the beginning of
yes.
Squadron? Yes.
Yes. That ship comes with the Idris. That's right. From Extreme NL, we know we will earn out our citizen card by completing the Squadron 42 campaign. What do you think this will mean? People who just buy Star Citizen, once they're separated, should obviously also be able to play the PU, so it can't be the only way. We know that I'm going to answer this right away because I know the answer to this, is we know there's going to be multiple ways of earning your citizenship, number one, to fit in with the UEE. We also know that citizenship is not required to play the game. If you want to be an outlaw or you don't want to be associated with the UEE, you do not need citizenship. Squadron 42 is going to give you that option. I imagine people like me, I want to go through and I want to play all of Squadron 42, but I don't want to be associated with the UEE. So I think it'll be an option to renounce that or just ignore it or whatever.
Yeah, you'll lose it eventually.
But there's...
pretty quick.
There will be other ways of earning your citizenship within the persistent universe. You will not need Squadron 42. That is not a requirement to get that, and they've stated that multiple times on 10 for the Chairman and other places as well. Epic Baklava asks, for someone who hasn't done much ship research, how easy do you think it will be for someone new to pick up and play this game? I want to get buddies into this game who don't play very many space sims or flight sims.
I think there's a fair amount of...
There is a learning curve. But myself personally, I didn't play any space sims or flight sims before getting into this. The thing that attracted me to it was the sort of environments that you're going to be able to mess around in, the FPS portions of it, and you know, as with anything, as you play it more, you're going to get better. It's not terribly difficult to learn. It's one of those things that I think anybody, like I've thrown friends on and just said, hey, these are the easy controls. And I don't know if you, for those of you that were around when Nez was around, she would come on and she was doing better than I did when I first played, and she doesn't play video games. So I think it's all determined on individual, like how quickly you pick it up, but I don't think it's super difficult to learn how to fly. But getting into the more nitty gritty and becoming and mastering it, I think will take some time. Citizen Ryokan asks, what system do you all think will be the founder system that was mentioned in the stretch goal way back when? I think they announced it in the stretch goal. I don't think it's in the map right now. I haven't really looked into it because I don't get it. It's before our time, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us pledged before that, so it's not something...
Let's talk to Clifford.
Yeah, let's talk to Clifford. All we need to do is... I mean, it'll pretty much be open right away to everybody because the coordinates are going to get leaked and people will find jump points to it. So maybe it'll just be a place where some players can start who backed before. That's where you can set a hangar.
Yeah. Where
we won't be able to set a hangar there, which really doesn't affect me at all. Pappy asks, the Sabre, wheels or skids? I'm going to say skids.
Oh, can we get tracks?
Wheels.
Okay, you're gonna go tracks. You're gonna go wheels. There we go. It's a split 3-way. He also asked, how do you see tuning parts to be a wise decision?
100%.
100%. Yeah, I think that's gonna be really like those
Very
little
important.
advantages are gonna add up, especially when you have those little advantages throughout an entire fleet.
Yep.
Based on the quality of the star map, my mind is full with possibilities. This question's by Ghostwalker. About the design of Moby-Glass. Do you think this map will inform the future design of Moby-Glass? I think it was... it'll just be built in. Just like everything else. So I don't think it really adds... I don't think it affects the design at all, to be honest. And last question from Set Middle. What people can use multiple starter packages? Whoever has them.
Everyone.
If you have multiple
everyone.
starter packages, you can use them.
You can use them. Okay, guys, we're going to draw this right now. Can I get a drum roll, Twerk 17? Board Gamer, can you add to that drum roll? And the winner of the 2945 Merlin is Grizz Warmace. Grizz Warmace, do me a favor. Message Board Gamer. He's going to type in chat right now. Just click on his name and click the little message button. Send him your RSI handle and your email address associated with that account so he can gift that to your account. It will go to your email. Congratulations. All right, guys. Thank you for sticking around and watching this. We will be back in
Whoa, Saurus, before we go, I just want to talk very briefly about your t-shirts and Twerk's t-shirts.
You know
That's
what?
important.
I totally forgot about all that stuff.
I threw a little sellout moment in
He
there.
did earlier. That's okay. Okay, listen. Before we go. Actually, we can just keep going. It doesn't matter. We'll just cut this off later.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna turn down the stream. We're just gonna keep going live. I'll just cut it and then I'll upload it.
Good job.
So, Twerk 17, what are you up to this week?
Coming up this week, definitely we got a week left in our shirts, so pushing that.
Next Redacted is our last day.
Yeah, next Redacted is our last day. Go Team Blue, F Team Red. Let's throw that in the chat. But pretty much playing a lot of Star Citizen, I think, coming up in the future.
Yep.
Maybe a little giveaway here and there this week. Maybe a gift card.
Maybe you should pay attention to your stream.
Yeah, I don't do scheduled giveaways too often, so you got to stop by and find out when we're going to be doing them. So nothing crazy and exciting coming up that I'm going to kind of push. But yeah, basically just hopping in, chatting with you guys, and playing as much as possible, playing as much Star Citizen as possible, and talking to new people as much as I possibly can. So yeah.
Yeah, right on.
That's what's going on.
And Board Gamer, what do you have coming up?
Yeah, so, I mean, 1.3 is basically going to be out in a minute so that I'm able to look through the user files and stuff and see what optimized settings I can make. So I need to update all my stuff for that and get those out to people as quick as possible so they can have a better experience. I'll be doing a few more tutorials because obviously we've got a massive influx of new players. Yeah. So they need to do tutorials. I'm going to be working on my jingle. So this is for when I start getting involved with your competitions and stuff. So currently it's F Team Red, F Team Blue, Team Kappa Pride is better than both of you.
Okay, I need to pause this because it's affecting my Skype.
Bam! 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 Bam!
Oh,
so
you started the download?
Shots.
Yeah, you guys
got
pixely for a minute there.
Yeah,
that's right. Retro. Man.
Yeah, for myself, just gonna be downloading this. Gonna be playing a lot of Star Citizen. Getting really excited for that Arena Commander 2.0 release. Hopefully that's sooner rather than later. We are gonna be doing a Sabre giveaway here in a moment. So that is gonna be for subscribers. So yeah, all of my big giveaways I do announce ahead of time, but they are also subscriber giveaways. So I can give back to the people who support my channel. We do smaller giveaways every now and then, and those are just sort of random and based on my feels. Other than that, I don't really have anything coming up. I kind of ran out of horror games, so if anybody has any suggestions for horror games, feel free to PM me on Twitch. I am super finicky, so don't take any offense if you suggest things and I say I'm not going to play it, because if I don't think I'm going to enjoy it, yeah,
He
I was
did a
like, no,
massive list and he was like, nope.
no. I mean, I appreciate it, but I have to want to even play them. So. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be up to. You can find me at twitch.tv/WTFasaurus and on Twitter, which I've been blowing up lately, at WTFasaurus on Twitter. Twerk, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Twerk17 and at Twerk17 Gaming on Twitter and YouTube. And I guess one other thing that I wanted to mention is I'm going to start getting back into making YouTube videos. So I've been getting, gradually just been getting subscribers over the last couple of weeks, and I haven't really put up any good information. And with the star map, I am really excited for a series with that. So expect that in the very near future. I was hoping to have one done today, but some stuff came up. But I think I'll be able to make them very quickly, and I'm very excited about that.
Awesome. And Board Gamer, what do you have coming up? Do you have any special videos or anything?
No, it will just be mainly the tutorial stuff for new players. Obviously 1.3 is out, so I will go through all the matter of that, get new user.cfgs done. I mean, it's going to be a busy week.